Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind God Updates and God Too, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Boy finds out he's finally adopted, and the 6-year-old can't contain his joy. Written by Adam Staten, read by Julie Provost. When little Harvey finds out he's finally adopted, the 6-year-old's reaction is just too precious. What a joyful moment. Every child removed from their homes and birth parents have experienced some traumatic circumstances. All children want and deserve to be in a place and with someone who will care for and love them. Love, safety, and security shouldn't be too much to ask for, especially for a child. In a clip posted on YouTube, 6-year-old Harvey was over the moon after learning that he had found himself a forever family and home. He was literally jumping for joy at the news he was finally adopted. The video begins with a little guy waiting as he reclines on a plastic chair outside of a porch. Seconds into the clip, a female voice tells Harvey they have something they must tell him. There's something special that happened yesterday, the woman tells the 6-year-old. Do you know what might have happened yesterday? Harvey has no idea what might have happened during the previous 24-hour period. The person holding the camera then pans to the right and reveals a man standing with a board with Harvey's name. However, the man points to 2 words, forever ours. Harvey is still a little confused about the meaning of those words. The man lets the little guy in on the big news. How about Harvey is officially adopted, the man says. Harvey sits up and lets out an audible gasp after learning he is an adopted mother and father. He's still unsure and proceeds to ask if what he has heard is correct. I'm adopted, Harvey asks. I'm adopted right now? He asks, I'm going to stay here? Once his questions are answered and he understands he does not have to leave, the little guy is over the moon. The video ends with Harvey approaching the woman behind the camera for a hug. Psalm 127:3. See, children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Mom driving with windows down hears baby's cries coming from a ditch and jumps into action. Written by Mel Johnson, read by Julie Provost. Distraught mom Gina Wilson reunited with her missing baby boy after a determined stranger found the child just in time. Gina Wilson of Illinois experienced a parent's worst nightmare after dashing back into her house to get something. Since the trip would only take a few minutes, the mom left her van running with the 3-month-old son, Gotti, inside. But when Gina came back outside, her heart stopped when she discovered an empty driveway. Someone had stolen her van with the 3-month-old still inside. I thought he was gone, the mother said of this terrifying moment. Gina Wilson immediately contacted the police, who wasted no time in issuing an Amber Alert. And when Brittany Ford and her aunt, Jenny McQueen, heard the news, it broke their hearts, so they dropped everything to go outside and search for the missing baby boy. If it was my baby, I would want everyone out there, Jenny explains. And this kind of selfless devotion to helping a stranger was exactly what God used to bring baby Gotti home. Despite the cold weather outside, Jenny and Brittany rode around with the windows down. They hoped for some kind of clue or sign pointing to the missing child's whereabouts, and soon God gave them just that. Brittany slowed her vehicle when they heard a baby's cries. The sounds were coming from a ditch on the side of the road. Brittany jumped out of the car and raced toward the cries, and what she saw was heart-wrenching. There, face down in the ditch, lay the missing baby boy. Apparently, after taking off with the van, the thief tossed the poor child out like trash. Police estimate the little boy spent 2 to 3 hours in the ditch out in the cold. They rushed Gotti to the hospital, where the doctors and nurses treated him for hypothermia and some minor scrapes and bruises. Thankfully, Good Samaritans Brittany and Jenny found the missing baby boy just in time, and Gina Wilson had no doubt her son wouldn't have survived much longer. The grateful mom can't thank Brittany and Jenny enough for their dedication in searching for her child. It was complete selflessness, she said. She took the time out to look for my baby, even though she has her own family. For Brittany Ford, though, she was just doing what her heart told her to do. Even though it wasn't my child, my heart sank because no mother should ever have to go through that, she said. Thankfully, Brittany and her aunt followed God's prompting to get involved in the search. Because they did, sweet Gotti is back home, right where he is meant to be, safe and sound. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Philippians 2:4.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.